What's up YouTube, Saf here on Super Saf TV, and in this video I'm going to be comparing the specs of the Nikon D5200 to the Canon 650D or Rebel T4i depending on where you're from. Now I've posted a full hands-on review of the Nikon D5200 and you can check that out right here. And one of the most asked questions I've had on there is how does the D5200 compare to the Canon 650D? I've had a play around with the 650D but I've not had it long enough to give you guys a full hands-on review, but I thought if I do a spec comparison that will be useful to lots of people out there, and you can also see some key differences between these two cameras. Initially, looking at the sensor size and resolution, the D5200 has a 24.1 megapixel CMOS sensor, the 650D an 18 megapixel CMOS sensor now, so obviously you've got a much larger resolution with the D5200. Both are crop sensors, not full frame, but you've obviously got a much higher resolution on the D5200, and it's also got a larger sensor size, so not only will it give you a larger resolution, but it also means less noise in low light as well. So that's a key advantage there of the Nikon D5200. In terms of autofocus, the D5200 has a 39-point AF system with 9 cross-type sensors. The 650D 9-point AF system with all 9 cross-types. So now obviously the D5200, many more autofocus points there, so that's going to be really useful. And I don't know, Canon seem to be a bit stingy with the autofocus points really. I mean, even the 6D, which is a full frame, that only has about 9 or 11 I think it is. But Nikon obviously very generous with their autofocus points, and it's very, very useful. The more autofocus points you have, the more useful it is to really get into those, get some tight focus on different areas. So really useful there. In terms of ISO, the D5200 has ISO range between 100 to 6400, extendable to 25,600. The 650D has the ISO from 100 to 12,800, extendable also to 25,600. Now obviously the Canon 650D has a higher ISO range, however personally I would not advise going any more than 6400, especially on a crop sensor, because you know you're going to get lots of noise anything above that personally, so I would not advise that. And if you want to see some examples of the D5200, how that performs in low light situations, I've got in the review video, you've got plenty of examples on there at different ISOs, so you can check that out. The D5200 does not have a built-in focus motor. The 650D does have a built-in focus motor. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, not all lenses, some of the older lenses don't come with a focus motor on there. So if you've got an old lens and you use it with the D5200, you may not be able to use the autofocus. So it is useful to have that built-in. Not a huge deal because most of the new lenses do have that built-in, so you don't have to worry about it too much. But if you're getting the D5200, you're going to be getting a lens, just do make sure about that. But as I said, you don't have to worry about it generally because most of the new lenses do have that built in. There's quite a few similarities between these two cameras as well. I mean, continuous shooting, both have 5 frames a second. You've also got an SD card slot, a single SD card slot on both cameras, pop-up flash, and a max shutter speed of 1/4000th of a second. Some more differences come when we look at the screen. Obviously both have a 3-inch screen, which is a flip out screen, so you can tilt and shift it, so it's really useful to get some awkward angles and everything. However, the D5200 has a 921K dot vari-angle screen, whereas the 650D has a 1040K dot vari-angle screen. So obviously you're going to have a high resolution in terms of the screen on the back, but the key thing now, a key selling point on the 650D is obviously the touch screen functionality. One of the first, if not the first, DSLR with a touchscreen. Very useful. Now I've tried this myself. It's really useful to, you know, change options and things using that touchscreen. And one of the other key advantages is when focusing in, when you're in live view, you can touch different areas of the screen to sort of you know, focus in on different areas, which is really useful, similar to mobile phones, which you'll see from the example. And it works okay. It's not, again, it's not brilliant, it's not the best, but it's really good. And I want to see touchscreens on newer DSLRs that come out. I definitely think it's a very useful feature, and it's something to really you know, go forward and to bring to the DSLR market. In terms of video, the D5200 1080p at 24, 25 and 30 frames a second, but you've also got 1080i interlace at 50 and 60 frames a second. Key advantage there. At 720p you've got 50 and 60 frames a second. The 650D 24, 25 and 30 frames a second at 1080p, and at 720p 50 and 60 frames a second. So obviously the key advantage here you've got on the D5200, the first Nikon DSLR with this frame rate at 1080i. So obviously its interlace is not progressive, so it's not going to be as good as progressive. I've tried it, it's not too bad personally, but you do get a bit of a crop in. So you've got that advantage there if it's useful for you. And in terms of max recording length in video, the D5200 is going to give you 20 minutes, whereas the 650D is going to give you 29 minutes and 59 seconds. So you're going to get a third more recording length, continuous recording length on the 650D. Very, very useful there as well. So the 650D has an advantage there. In terms of mic input, both have a mic input socket and they both have stereo mics on board as well. My personal experience on the Nikon D5200, plugging in a Rode mic, you get a lot of hiss in the background. Again, you can check that out on the review. I'm not sure why this is, and I've not found a perfect solution for this either, but that's one of the issues on there. But I'm not sure about other mics, they might work fine. Wireless transfer, the D5200, if you buy the wireless mobile adapter, the W1A, you can see an unboxing of it here. If you use that, you can wirelessly transfer images from the camera to a mobile phone or a tablet, and you've also got some remote controls from a mobile phone or tablet onto the camera. So that's a really, really useful feature. And it's also, you know, if you're out on a shoot or something and you want to get images out quick, you can get them onto your phone and send them straight away. Really, really useful. The 650D does not have any wireless transfer options, so obviously that's a disadvantage there of the 650D to the D5200. Now, in terms of weight, the D5200 is 505 grams, the 650D 575 grams. Now, this is the body only, so obviously the D5200, Nikon D5200, slightly lighter in the hand as well. Finally, the price. Now, for the body only, the D5200 currently between 600 to 650 pounds, or around about $800 in the US, and the 650D on the other hand is between 500 to 550 pounds, and that's around about $650. So obviously you're going to be saving a bit of money if you go for the 650D. To summarize, I think both are great DSLRs, and I think it really comes down to what's more important to you. Do you think the high resolution, additional AF points and the wireless transfer option of the D5200 are worth the extra money, or do you think the touchscreen and the lower price of the 650D appeals more to you? And obviously there's the never-ending debate of Nikon versus Canon. You know, I think it comes down to what you prefer. But what are your views on these two cameras? Which one would you go for? Do drop me a comment below and let me know. I hope you found this video useful and enjoyed it. If you did, please do hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me out. And why not subscribe to the channel? I've got plenty more videos coming up on here. Thanks for watching once again. This is Saf on Super Saf TV, and I'll see you next time.